if you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked, and you went on stage with it, and it's nothing.
Just
there.
Go for it. Yeah,
there's nothing there.
I mean, Pat, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. But let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures, and look at her track record. How many times does she have to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she's...
Sunny Hostin has been in the news once more, but not because of her daring views on The View. Her spouse, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, is the center of attention instead, and the news isn't good. The renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Hostin and his firm, Hostin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, are embroiled in a significant legal dispute. The accusations? Illegal bribes, insurance fraud, and a huge Rico case with 180 defendants in total. This is a major issue that is upending the medical community, not simply another litigation. The details are shocking. I assure you that TO stay up to date on this developing drama. Remember to like and subscribe to this video before we get into all the twists and turns.
I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance, and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
Let's dissect it. The primary purpose of the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO, was to combat organized crime, including street gangs and mobsters. The startling thing is at this time, physicians, surgeons, and other medical professionals are the ones in the spotlight rather than criminals. Think of it as a courtroom drama, similar to Grey's Anatomy but with a lot more fraud than Goodfellas. Dr. Hostin and others are charged in the lawsuit with operating a plan to exploit the healthcare system. The accusations? Committing unlawful kickbacks, doing needless surgeries, and charging insurance companies for things that might never have been done. Imagine patients undergoing surgery, insurance companies paying for it, and behind the scenes, money moving back and forth in the hospital like a high-stakes game of poker. This would rank among the largest medical scandals in recent memory if it is accurate.
I want a citizen that has a policy. I mean, I'm not saying that Joe Rogan should be removed from Spotify. He's got 11 million listeners. He's got a $100 million, contract as of 2020. But I do think as the podcast platform, you have to have some sort of guidelines. How about a disclaimer on his podcast that says, this is misinformation? How about removing some of the podcasts that disseminate this misinformation?
They have.
And that's...
This is the point at which financial incentives become extremely important. According to the lawsuit, Dr. Hostin received compensation for recommending or carrying out arthroscopic surgeries, which are minimally invasive operations on joints such as the shoulders and knees. These operations may appear regular at first. However, the accusations claim that many of them weren't even required. Were these patients merely being utilized to profit from insurance claims, or did they truly require surgery? Even the most dramatic soap operas could pale in comparison to this medical scandal. If these allegations prove to be true, imagine finding out that you were only a pawn in a money-making scam after you trusted your doctor and thought they had your best interests at heart. Such treachery is profoundly hurtful.
Always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange of...
But hold on. There's more. The plaintiff in this case is American Transit Insurance Company, ATIC. They assert that they were defrauded of millions of dollars and that they were charged for surgeries that were either unneeded or never performed. IT sounds like a big scandal, doesn't it? However, It's important to remember that insurance firms also don't exactly have the best reputation. They are being charged with underpaying physicians, rejecting valid claims, and taking advantage of every legal loophole to evade payments. Now for the crucial query. Is this a desperate attempt to shift blame and salvage a potentially collapsing corporation? Or is ATIC actually uncovering a vast healthcare fraud?
According to a new lawsuit obtained by Page Six, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer influence and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emmanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft.
Daniel Thwaites, Dr. Hostin's attorney, wasn't holding back. He called the action a last-ditch effort by a struggling business and rejected it as a desperate, irrational endeavor by ATIC to recoup its financial losses. His defense? Turned the focus to ATIC and portray them as the really bad guys. Turning the tables on your accuser is a traditional legal tactic. Suddenly, the intensity of this legal battle increased. But hold on, there's more. Let's get Joe Rogan in. The massive podcaster and media critic didn't mince words when he criticized a view for what he perceived to be outright hypocrisy. He brought up Sunny Hostin's habit of criticizing others while posing as an expert on the subject. Perhaps with knowledge of her husband's purportedly dubious activities, Rogan then attempted the knockade. He attacked the view, claiming that you might still struggle to hit triple digits if you average out the host's IQs. Cruel? Of course. However, his admirers loved...
Saw you on The View.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been overwhelming my past couple days. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know. So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that way.
Well, it is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
yeah.
it is a rabies-infested hen.
Sunny Hostin has been conspicuously silent while Dr. Hostin battles to clear his name in court. She is usually quick to comment on problems on The View, but she has said nothing about her husband's scandal. Why is the key question. Is she supporting him, attempting to put some distance between them, or simply doing as she is told by the law? There is a lot of conjecture among fans. Some believe she is defending her reputation, while others question whether she is merely attempting to avoid becoming the next victim. In any case, her silence is speaking for itself. The true shock is that there are other people in trouble than Dr. Hostin. He is one of 180 defendants in this case, along with hospitals, medical practices, and other physicians. A whole network is accused of taking advantage of the healthcare system for millions of dollars, making this one of the largest medical fraud cases in history if the accusations are confirmed. Similar to a high-stakes heist, they are purportedly profiting from insurance premiums rather than robbing banks.
Her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit. Okay, now let's read this. Rob, is this a video?
Well, I have this. I'll show you this about.
Let me just read this and I'll come to you. So, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon and husband of The View co-host Sunny Hostin, is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney, Daniel Thwaites, denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits. The case involves claims that Hostin performs unnecessary surgeries on patients after minor accidents without exploring less invasive treatments, with American Transit citing New York's 1974 no-fault law as contributing to widespread.
The question of how much faith we actually have in the healthcare system is at the center of this disaster. That trust begins to erode when financial gain takes precedence over patient care, and both physicians and insurance providers appear more concerned with their bottom line than with the welfare of their patients. When patients enter a doctor's office, they should feel secure rather than like they are entering a financial trap. Furthermore, ATIC is only making matters worse if it is using this case as a diversion from its own financial difficulties. These are merely accusations. Dr. Hostin has not yet been proved guilty, but there's no denying that this legal war has become a spectacle. Both sides are preparing for a heated battle. And as the case progresses, more startling information will undoubtedly come to light, whether guilty or not. There is no denying that this case is bringing to light some unsettling facts regarding the insurance and healthcare sectors. And believe me when I say that this issue is far from done. Thus, keep an eye on things because we'll be right here, following every development as it happens. Please remember to like and subscribe if you like today's video so you don't miss any updates. See you later.